A love story that not only survived the dust of time, but touched the hearts of every passing era. A code upheld even at the cost of life and soul. A code that gives prime importance to honor, hospitality, revenge, and retribution. This is not just a story, but a cultural legacy, a long narrative poem known as a qissa or dastan in Pashto literature. Then in 1988, Houston and Mumtaz Nasir gave it English form. And thus the tale traveled the world under the name Bazaar of the storytellers. Yusuf Khan, a young, handsome, and brave man, with honor glowing in his eyes and dignity echoing in his voice. A guardian of Pashtun values. A son whose name alone earned respect wherever spoken. And on the other side, Sher Bano, a name as delicate as a narcissus flower, as radiant as moonlight. Beauty was her adornment, modesty her attire. She was the daughter of a tribal chief. So graceful, so full of charm, that every heart beat faster for just a glimpse of her. Her father came and placed his turban at her feet, saying, "I am a man of honor and have protected my dignity all my life. But now I'm old. Who will protect you after me? Don't make a spectacle of my honor. I worry that you will grow old waiting for a man who is either dead or too ashamed to return." Now, hear Yusuf Khan's tale. Early one morning, he set out from home in search of his enemies and began his journey to Delhi. By evening, he had traveled far from Pashtun territory. At dusk, he arrived in a village where the people trembled in fear of bandits hiding in the nearby forest. When Yusuf Khan asked for details, the villagers told him that many young men had already been killed by the ruthless bandits, and the remaining people had fled to distant places out of fear. Seeing that they had no one to protect them, Yusuf Khan fearlessly offered his help. The villagers watched him from hiding, full of suspicion, but he swiftly dealt with the bandits. When Yusuf Khan cleaned his bloodied sword, the villagers rushed out and carried him like a hero. His bravery spread quickly and soon reached the ears of Emperor Akbar, who happened to be temporarily staying nearby after returning from a campaign. Akbar immediately summoned Yusuf Khan. When he arrived at court, the emperor threw a sword at his feet and challenged him to duel one of his best swordsmen. Yusuf Khan easily defeated the opponent and turned to the emperor, awaiting his command. Akbar and his courtiers applauded with great enthusiasm. The emperor called him forward, placed a necklace of precious jewels around his neck, gave him fine garments, and appointed him the commander of a large military unit. Every mission entrusted to Yusuf Khan was executed with remarkable success. Due to his honesty, bravery, and valor, Yusuf Khan soon became a favorite at the court and was ordered to remain close to the emperor at all times. This gave Akbar the opportunity to observe him closely. He noticed that Yusuf Khan was indeed as courageous as his reputation claimed, but he never indulged in the court's revelries. The emperor realized Yusuf Khan was a solitary man, often lost in thought and sorrow. When Akbar inquired among the courtiers, none could give an answer. Eventually, the emperor summoned Yusuf Khan and asked, "What sorrow consumes you?" Yusuf Khan told the king the entire story. Now he kept seeing the same dream again and again in it. His mother and sister stood crying beside a broken swing. At night, he would lie awake wondering, where could Sher Bano be? Had she become someone else's, or was she still waiting for him? More than 5 years had passed, yet he had received no news of his mother and sister, nor of his village, and he had not been able to track down his enemy cousins. He showed Akbar the cap that Sher Bano had made for him with her own hands. Akbar said, "You must go back not just for the peace of your heart, but for the women you left behind, alone and unprotected." Yusuf Khan was granted permission to take as many soldiers with him as he wished. He quickly set off towards his village. It is said that he stayed the night in the nearby village of Wien, where he ordered his companions to halt. Disguised and alone, he quietly set off on foot toward his village. That evening, Yusuf Khan prayed at the village mosque, but no one recognized him. As he silently passed by his house and saw it desolate, his heart filled with sorrow. He stopped a passerby and asked, "Where are the people who used to live here?" The man eyed him with suspicion and replied, "Do you know them?" Yusuf Khan answered, "Years ago, I stayed one night at their doorstep. They kindly gave me food and shelter." The man shook his head with regret and said, "The owner of this house was Yusuf Khan. He left long ago in search of his enemies in Delhi, and no one knows what became of him. His cousins seized all his property. They forced his mother and sister to do unpaid labor in their homes. His wife was taken back by her parents, and now they're forcibly marrying her off to one of Yusuf Khan's cousins. Can you hear the drums? Those are preparations for that wedding. Yusuf Khan quickly made his way to Sher Bano's village, where people had gathered to witness the wedding spectacle. There, he met his sister Balanda, who failed to recognize him. He asked her, who has claimed Sher Bano as his own. Balanda sorrowfully replied that her brother had gone to Delhi in search of his enemies, and in his absence, his cousins took everything. Now, they were trying to force Sher Bano into marriage with a relative. But Sher Bano had refused to sit in the bridal palanquin, shaming them all. She wouldn't comb her hair or wash her face. Balanda added she must return quickly, or their cousins would not only beat her, but also their blind mother. Yusuf Khan stopped her and said, "Sister, don't you recognize me?" Upon recognizing him, Balanda cried out with joy. Yusuf Khan hushed her and gave her Sher Bano's knitted cap, asking her to deliver it to Sher Bano. Balanda handed it to a child, who passed it on to Sher Bano. The moment she saw the cap, Sher Bano jumped with joy. She immediately agreed to get ready as a bride. Everyone was astonished at her sudden change. Her thick black hair was joyfully combed. Sher Bano laughed and joked with her family. Someone applied kohl to her eyes. Someone placed a bindi on her forehead. She was dressed in a red outfit and adorned with jewelry. Yusuf Khan had already sent word to his soldiers, who had silently entered the village and taken their positions. Burning with rage, he ordered that none of his cousins be spared. When the wives and daughters of the slain ran into the field, bareheaded and barefoot, begging for mercy, Sher Bano interceded on behalf of the villagers. Through tearful eyes, she pleaded, "Yusuf, I know the pain of a widow's life. Your reckoning is with your cruel cousins, not with these helpless women who only stood and watched." Yusuf Khan accepted Sher Bano's request, but only on the condition that a tribal council, jirga, be convened immediately. The jirga acknowledged that great injustice had been done to Yusuf Khan. He should not be punished for his cousins' deaths. His lands and property were to be returned to him at once. Once again, Yusuf Khan's courtyard blossomed with the roses of joy. Whispers of reunion changed the course of destiny. A mother's love found solace in her son's arms. A sister's affection sparkled in her brother's eyes. The muffled cries lost in the sea of separation now lit lamps of joy on the shores of reunion. Time, galloping on the winds, veiled 6 months in the dew of eyelashes. And every moment turned into a new dawn, a new prayer. Yusuf Khan and Sher Bano's love bloomed over 6 tender, dreamlike months. Moments so precious, they etched themselves forever on the heart of time. But who can rewrite fate? 6 months later, when Yusuf Khan expressed his desire to return to Delhi, the autumn settled on Sher Bano's face. Sadness clouded her heart, yet her only wish remained. One last bite of hunted meat from Yusuf Khan's own hands. With that wish in his heart, Yusuf Khan ventured alone into the valleys of the Karamar forest. And then, fate penned a heart-wrenching chapter. His lifeless body was found in the very ravine where years earlier his cousins had left him for dead. Some say he slipped in the darkness. Others whisper of a silent conspiracy of revenge. But the truth? Only that ravine knows. The only witness to a lover's final breath. As Yusuf Khan lay, taking his last breaths, a shepherd, grazing his flock nearby, became a witness. Yusuf Khan entrusted him with his final wish, to be buried on the highest peak of Karamar, where the sky meets the earth, and winds carry tales of his love. Sher Bano, who had prayed on the rosary of his loyalty for years, could not bear the grief. Within days, she wrapped herself in the shroud of earth and drifted into eternal sleep. Now, atop the highest peak of Karamar, Yusuf Khan's grave stands as a testament to the glory of love. And nestled in the mountain's lap, Sher Bano's grave silently bears witness to her undying devotion. These 2 graves, one on the summit, one in the foothills, still echo the eternal elegy of love with every whisper of the wind. Those who turn to dust in the path of love are not found by the wayside. Thus ended this tale of loyalty and vengeance in a tragedy, where the flame of love was extinguished by the wind of cruelty, but never forgotten. Next time, we'll bring you another story of love, the fragrance of a different form of affection. Until then, keep the windows of your heart open, for stories come like the breeze, and they touch only those who listen with the heart.